Okay, and we're on. I look like heck. Santa Teddy looks better. Santa Teddy, say hello. Hello. And he's shy and he's not going to say too much. And this may be my last type of video for a while. This is for kids mainly. I thought I'd talk about professions or what do you do in life. And I've thought about this for several days. I want to mention my friend Robert. He's been quite opposite type of professions, being a chef and being a caregiver, but he's licensed caregiver in a West Coast state. But actually, those two can work together because he can provide good nutrition in part of his caregiving. It's not normally part of the what the job description is. Another person I'll mention is my brother, who was mainly electrical engineering, but he worked on initial stages 40 years ago of speech recognition. Myself, and this is getting into what do you want to do in life. There are many very little children, 3, 4, 5 years old. They want to be, the boy wants to be a princess, the girl wants to be an astronaut, or vice versa, something like that. That frequently changes as the kids get a little older, at 8, 10, and 12. You pretty much have an idea of something you'd like to do that you could earn some money on. Many parents are pushing kids towards skilled professions like carpentry, plumbing. These will pay good money and will have work. Many other things won't have work. My bachelor's is in physics and astronomy, and I actually fortunate to work side by side with the space telescope. I was working on an X-ray telescope, but my bosses made the original Hubble Space Telescope. I saw it when it was on Earth in the PerkinElmer facility in Danbury, Connecticut, again 40 years ago. And you do want to try to think of practicality, being a poet, being, 1,500 social aspects of literature. Some of these PhDs are great to do, but then you have trouble finding work. A lot of areas you only get the jobs if you're back in academia for the most part. Astronomy is in the news lately. They've been talking about, and I'll mention, in my county resides a former woman astronaut, going back to what I said initially. But in astronomy, they're talking about cosmology and things they see 7 billion years ago. It's very interesting. They do get practical stuff from space programs. Some people like to tout the orange juice, what we ended up with, the powdered orange juice, as a result of some of the initial space missions and orbital situations with the space station and so forth. I am not feeling that well. I don't know what I'll be doing in the future. Mr. Talent is one of my main people on YouNow. He has a very interesting career path. He's done well. I've had some of the smartest people on that app come into my broadcast, my live broadcast, over 3,000 there. Some of the smartest people, and different races and different sexes, I'm telling you. So, most of my people working with internet, most are outside the U.S. easily. On Twitter, I've only had like a quarter for a long time of my followers from the U.S. And I still have 102.6 or so, something like that, 1,000. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to do too much. I'm not able to do too much anywhere. This is why I think I will stop. I've got very little popularity. Other people, I think, of some of these career nurses now, there was a lot of turmoil in the health industry, and a lot of doctors and nurses professionally were lost in terms of their vocations and not available, and I'm going to leave it at that. It has created problems with me as well. I'm in the hands of the medical industry right now, that's how it is. And I hope that will end later this year. And I've been up not even 6 minutes. I thought I originally planned to do a longer stream. Some things people can look into, practicality. There's all kinds of engineering, crackerjack programmers. Now, not everyone can learn to code well. That's not true. That statement is not true. But crackerjack programmers and other things, very good plumbers and woodworking, carpentry. A lot of these people can do stuff part-time, so they can still enjoy life to quite a degree and earn a good living. I'm talking about different types of engineering. Now, political science, I don't even want to know. The Bible says it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a politician. Oh, wait, no, that's a rich man won't get into heaven. And actually from the Aramaic, people may not know this, an eye of the needle was a narrow gate in ancient times, a narrow gate, and a camel would have to be unloaded and laboriously taken through an eye of the sea. It had different meanings. And also other parts of the 23rd Psalm had tablelands, other things had meanings back then which are largely forgotten now. I'll mention that about Bible. And Santa Teddy is nodding in agreement. And yeah, my mind isn't real sharp right now. It's one of the effects of my sickness. I'm pretty good, but life has been harder overall. And I've been up 7:15. And this will be going on YouTube. I don't think I said anything controversial. You never know. It will hit 8 minutes and probably not go. I was requested to do longer, but I didn't have that much. And I appreciated very much some of my nursing, some of the nurses in both hospitals. I appreciated some very much. And I'm glad they had not quit the profession. Unfortunately, I wasn't going to mention this. I have been close to the end very often, and especially the last 7 months. And I have to calculate around a 1 or 2% probability that I would be sitting here talking. And Santa Teddy is kind of looking down, kind of sad. But don't be sad today, and put God first. And we're in difficult times, and you have to take this into consideration. I have a nurse. I had a couple of cousins I have a niece, and a couple of cousins were also nurses. Let me spit that out right. Mr. Talent is shaking his head. Mr. Talent. Talent is a quite accomplished Austrian fellow from Österreich, and now in Helvetia, Switzerland. His German, English are great. My French isn't so good. So his languages are as good as mine, I would say. I've used my languages. I've said hello or comments in 27 languages or 28 languages. Probably covered them all on and Twitter in the past 15 years. It's going to be 15 years April. February marks a milestone of several things. But again, most of my thoughts on the kids and careers. And you want to do something you like, hopefully make a good living, both. It can be done. Sometimes you have trouble. You can't do your first choice. You do something else you enjoy. I don't want to give an example. It'll be a ribald example. And people won't like it, and then I might even get banned. But a second or third choice, sometimes you can enjoy and make good money. And then in spare time or part-time do your number one choice. It's kind of common sense, but people don't think that way. But we're in a very difficult time now in 2024. So you want to put God first. and family mostly second. And country is problematic now. We all have different situations in our countries. And you yourself, you have to take care of yourself, kids, too. And don't put yourself at risk, unnecessary risk. Astronauts, jet pilots, one of those risky things. My CIA cousin's daughter married a Top Gun from Australia, so there you go. But I come from a rather illustrious family that hasn't helped me really at all in my life, except I did get the great DNA. Generally speaking, there are defects, obviously. Everybody has defects. But I'm going to break this. It's going to be 11 minutes. I plan to put it up on YouTube. And Mr. Talent is here. Is a little itchy. He wanted me to do that. And I'm going to break now. And no comments are allowed on YouTube on the kids' video, so that's what's going on with that. 11.